Today, you are going to learn how to be a better rifler inside of Counter-Strike 2. I'm going to identify 2 common mistakes that players make below face at level 10 and things that are absolutely detrimental to your peeking, your shooting, your spray control, just everything. This all goes hand in hand. You need to understand the game a little bit better, and today I'm going to explain that to you. I do CS2 coaching. I'm a former competitive player here in the scene. I made it all the way up to the top playing against your favorite pro players. I want to help you grow, help you understand what you need to do. So there's 2 common mistakes that players are making. We're going to talk about both of them. They're on polar ends of the spectrum. The first one is that players are not moving enough when they're shooting. And the polar opposite is players are moving way too much and it's detrimental. Both of these are very common mistakes for new players to make because you don't understand the movement, the mechanics behind it. I'm going to simplify things for you. I'm going to explain it and get you on the right path to success. So hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The first one, guys, you are not moving enough. One of the worst mistakes that players make, and it's really hard to see, is when they peek at an angle and they start fighting somebody, they just sit here and they shoot. And cool, right? Like, you're very accurate. You're sitting there, you're simplifying things for yourself, but you look like an absolute noob. And honestly, what I call that is the aimbot's peek. Because say like 3 guys are in window here. Cool, you peek top mid, you start shooting them, you start, doing damage to one guy. What are you going to do if somebody has better aim than you? If there's multiple people, if you whiff, right? You're an aimbot, right? Because this is a very common mistake newer players make to the game, is they're so static. So if I'm out here, you surprise me, you peek me, well, cool. I eventually just have to adjust and kill you. So a lot of new players, when I, especially when I mess around and play like matchmaking, or if I'm in a face-up pug and there's some lower level players or something, it's like, they're like, dude, nice shot. You just keep deleting me. How are you doing that? Well, it's because like it was hard when you peeked me. It was very surprising. It was hard, but then you have to concentrate to shoot, which makes it so that you are just sitting still. I'm going to explain to you what you need to do in order to fix this, but first I have to give you a message from the sponsor of today's video.
Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, CoJo. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description.
All right, guys. And also, by the way, another mistake with this is you're like, well, coach, I'm crouching. Yeah, well, crouching is better than just standing up and doing this, but you're still just pretty much a static target. We don't want to be a static target in this game because we want to terrify our opponents with the way we're peeking them. We want to ravage them, man. We want to be like unstoppable with the way we're peeking these things. So the common fix for you is to genuinely sit here, right? We peek, we identify our target. We peek, we identify, and as we're shooting, as we're doing that, we're crouching and moving back towards the direction we peeked. This is a very, very popular peek inside of the game right now because you're shifting your player model down and then you're moving to a direction. So if I'm aiming at you, it's really tricky because you peek me, but then you're moving back around, right? At longer range as well, guys, instead of crouching and doing this and moving back, you can honestly throw in some jiggles and just make sure you're accurate or your bullets will fly up there. Sometimes I'll do some crouches, some movements, and just get really active. Your directional keys are very important. At the highest level, especially at mid and close range, sometimes pro players as well are going to not even crouch, but just press AD, AD, AD as they move. As long as you do it fast enough, you're actually fully accurate because the game isn't registering you as actually moving fast because you're counter strafing back and forth, but you have to be able to counter strafe and use these keys in order to actually make yourself dynamic when you're fighting your opponent. And the common question to people when I bring this up is, well, Kojo, you're making me inaccurate. Okay, cool. Maybe technically you're like slightly inaccurate, but the reward of moving, the reward of actually like throwing in this dynamic type of playing is so important because if you don't do this, you're just dead, right? Like you're gonna kill people that, sure, if you hit a nice shot or you're better than them, but against better players, man, you got to throw in some sort of dynamic way of fighting and playing. And by the way, you're practically fully accurate. It's not a good cope, or it's not a good explanation to say, well, I just want to be fully accurate, because look, when I'm crouching and moving, I'm fully accurate. Do you see this? All of that is 100% accurate. I'm just messing around, yes, you're going to be slightly worse because you have to now think about the movement keys. You have to think about something else, but 100% it is worth the reward. And we need to be active. We need to move around, right? Because like this is so important on the micro too. I might get a kill over here, then bounce around here. Boom, I'm doing this, you know, going back and forth. And it's just so unbelievably effective to be active in this game. And that goes 100% to the way you're using the rifle. You got to peek, you got to be aggressive, you got to be active. So that's the first problem. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the second problem. We won't spend as long on this, but this is another really bad issue. A lot of new players, they get the game and they love the SMGs because they can just run around, hold W, and you should be. If you have an SMG, you should hold W, you should run around, you should spray. The problem is they get really bad with rifles then, because when we're peeking, and I'm sure all of you have a friend or have seen someone do this, we're peeking and we're moving too much. Now you don't understand the point of this peek, and a lot of times too, what they'll do is they'll peek up here and the initial peek will be good, but then they don't understand the counter strafe back. So you're gonna peek stairs like this, and then you let the game naturally slow yourself down, which that is a big problem because you're sliding, your momentum is carrying with you. So you're gonna look really bad, and it's not gonna be accurate at all what you're doing. So when people are playing like headshot angles and stuff, it's impossible. You're not gonna kill them, right? If someone's right here in front of you, sure, you probably killed them just running and being way too aggressive like this. But again, for you, what I am 100% going to prescribe first, this is the band-aid fix, this isn't the overall fix, is just crouch while you're peeking like this. You don't, and continue pressing your key. Continue pressing your key. Again, this is the band-aid fix, but this will at least make you accurate while you're shooting. If you want the true overall solution that's actually going to be good and beneficial, is learn to counter strafe. Your problem is you don't counter strafe. And again, the simplest way to do this is if I'm peeking with D right here to fight a guy in this position, peeking with D, as soon as I spot him and I shoot him, I'm pressing my A key and crouching back. Again, kind of like a donk slide little thing right there. Boom. And you know you're gonna struggle at first. That's why you got to get into a server and do this. But yeah, we're just peeking like that. You see how we're moving back? And the point, guys, to move back to cover, by the way, is like if your spray gets messy, if you accidentally peek like 3 guys or they're in a good setup, you're moving away from them so that you're isolating fights a lot better. That's why you want to move back to cover. If you know a guy's on 1 HP, sure, move out here and don't stop, because you know he's 1 HP. It's a 1v1 and you don't want that fight to get out. You want to take that fight, you want to believe in it, you want to commit to it. But yeah, in general, just understand that if you can counter strafe, you are essentially fully accurate. And a lot of this is slight bullet spread and also me just mistiming it. But do you see how my bullets are moving? I'm not pressing crouch, I'm not doing anything. Practice this method. Press your D key, then press your A key. D, A, D, A, D, A. And you are shooting. So when I'm pressing my D key, I'm shooting the second I let go of D and the second I hold A. Like the millisecond, not even second. So D, A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D, A. Boom. And you know, practice it both ways, by the way. Don't just do it one way. So A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D. And you're just shooting the second you're switching those keys. It's such an important concept to learn. But yeah, if a lot of us are just swinging here, holding W, holding A, and it's like, yeah, bro, like of course your bullets are inaccurate. You're not stopping yourself. You're not counter strafing. You're running out of palace, and to fight this guy, you're just sitting here. And then when the game stops you, it's like, cool, now you're accurate. So run out of palace, counter strafe, go back and kill this guy. Kill this guy. Boom, we get those kills. Now we're gonna go fight the con guy. Boom, he's there. Okay, cool. See, like just unlock yourself, unleash this. You're not gonna get better unless you practice these things in a private server. So I hope this video was very useful to you. I'm really proud of you guys for taking the time to learn, for making it this far in the video. I want you to become a rifle master inside of this game, and I believe in every single one of you. Hopefully we'll see each other one day in the big stage. I'm gonna keep working hard. I want you to keep working hard, keep learning. Join my Discord if you want that connection with me and my community. Appreciate it all, guys. Let's keep grinding.